The second to be most hated bodybuilder because of his fat mouth. The new Macc Trucc video about Nick Trigili. This is not what it appears to be, in my opinion. This is not Macc, striking first blood. This is not the beginning of a feud. This is Macc Trucc, in his own way, in my opinion, trying to give Nick Trigili, someone who he probably considers to be a friend, some friendly advice. Now, there's a great interview that Nick did with Macc Trucc. I helped out behind the scenes with some great questions. And I'll tell you something, it's one of the best interviews I've ever seen. Unfortunately, Nick lost his channel, and so we haven't seen the interview. I'm sure he'll repost it. I hope he does. It's a really good interview. And so these guys are cool. These guys are cool, but Macc is making a very important point. He's saying that a lot of Nick's coverage that doesn't have to do with the stage or the gym or the supplements or the placings, but more so with the personal lives of the bodybuilders, may get him into harm's way. And it's like, when you start talking about marriages and, affairs and finances and just the relationship between a man and a woman, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, family relationships, business dealings that may have gone south amongst friends. In other words, everything but bodybuilding. Now you're getting into an area where, Macc Trucc's point is well taken. You're getting into an area where you're exposing yourself to the possibility of an ass kicking, anything worse. You know what I mean? Because it's like, look, I did contest coverage for about 3 years. More than that, but for about 3 years, I was either on a plane, a bus, an Uber, 3 to 4 weekends out of the month. And for you math majors out there, a month's got 4 weeks. So I was always on the road. And I would see people hush away from pictures, shun away, run away from the cameras and the videos. I would see people that on Instagram were mortal enemies going back to the same hotel room after the show and the meals and all that. And, I would see, happily married people with other people and, obviously never take pictures or even be around the pictures. If they see a video cameraman, they bolt out of there because they're supposed to be there, but they're not supposed to be there with this person. So, but that has nothing to do with bodybuilding. That's like these own people's personal lives. I'm not here and you shouldn't be here to be the moral police for other people. What they do is what they do. But now, if you have somebody that reports on that, whether on the ground, in person, or receiving an anonymous tip, and then reporting on that after it's verified, because Nick does his due diligence. He does, research before he goes out on air, which is good. But whether it's true or not, it's something that should not be reported on, And the fact that he accepts anonymous tips, further creates a climate where people want to give him information because here's a guy who knows no bounds, Now that's cool, no holds barred. Yeah, that's cool. But at the same time, Macc is just saying, look, you talk about someone's marriage, you talk about, custodial issues, finances, that sort of thing. You could potentially get yourself into a world of trouble. And Macc even says on the video to Nick, don't even think about talking about my personal life. It's almost like he doesn't need to say it, but I feel like he says it just to be sure, because, I'm a huge fan of Nick's and I love what Nick is doing on the bodybuilding side. On the TMZ side, look, he's getting hits. His sponsors are ecstatic. His businesses are doing well. I never miss a video, and you probably never miss a video. But at the same time, Macc Trucc's point is well taken, because it's like this. If you sign up to be a wartime correspondent, you know that there's a possibility that you might get hit by a stray bullet or that you might get hit by an enemy that actually wants to hit you. Now, the odds of that are slim. Most chance you're going to be in a foxhole or 100 miles behind the enemy lines or whatever, but there's that chance. Now, I'm sure that Nick, weighed, the pros and cons of this type of reporting because he didn't used to do this type of reporting. And, Nick Strength and Power doesn't really do it. Desktop Bodybuilding may cover a little bit of this, but really doesn't delve into it either. So Nick is really putting himself out there. Uh, Generation Iron back in the day was pretty dicey, but they would not. What Nick is covering is something that nobody covers. So he is essentially a pioneer, but he's also essentially, in a way, really putting himself out there, almost like with a big old bullseye. You know what I mean? And that, I think, speaks to what Macc Trucc is saying. For me personally, it's not the kind of reporting that I would do. I'm fortunate that my sponsors don't expect me to do that kind of reporting, but it's fire. People want to see it, and they can't get enough of it. And if it wasn't Nick Trigili, it would be Dave Palumbo or Nick Strength and Power or somebody else, because somebody's going to want those hits. And someone's going to want that smoke. And someone's going to want to be lit. And someone's going to want to be talked about, because that is it in this industry. The more that people talk about you, the better. It doesn't matter if they like you or if they don't. That doesn't matter as long as you're being talked about. Even if they're not calling you by the right name, like my last name is Duke. If you're out there calling me Dookie, I don't care. Why? Because you're talking about me. So that's what the whole industry is about. So again, we can say, Nick, you shouldn't do it, but if it's not Nick, it'll be Dave or it'll be Nick Strength and Power. It will be somebody, because those hits are not going to go unclaimed. But at the same time, Macc's point is very, very well taken. So let's hope that, Nick never gets in harm's way, and that he continue to do what makes him happy. And let's hope that Macc Trucc stays in the industry for a long time and always keeps it real. Because like I said, I think that Nick is Macc's friend, but Macc is real, and he's going to lay it out real. And you got to respect that. You got to respect that. So that's it. This is Christian Duke, StrengthAddicts.com, powered by Blackstone Labs and Titan Medical.